Juan Soto's a Met. He is a Met. 15 years, $765 million. And man, oh man, is that crazy? I think that is north of the dollar amount even I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to get to like a 725. I thought it was going to be like 650 when the offseason started. When we got like a week ago, I was like, all right, we're north of 700. We're going to get to 725. But 765 or 15 is bananas, man. Absolutely crazy. Does he deserve that money? Time will tell. I think the Mets will tell you he does. I think most teams will tell you he does, just because for 15 years now, you're pretty much in the running of a World Series as the Mets. And as a Yankees fan, it doesn't, like, you know when they say when your loved one, someone you know is like already in the process of dying, and then when they die, it doesn't hurt as much because you already started the grieving process. I think I already started the grieving process of Juan Soto leaving the New York Yankees, so that's why I don't think it hurts as bad as it does right now. If anything, the more time moves on, the more I think we could do a lot more and a lot better this year if we take that $700 million and plug just individual holes. I'll talk about that in a second, but I look at this deal and it's a monster deal for the New York Mets, right? I mean, you get a star player, a player that you've always wanted, and that's the reason why this hurts. That's the number one reason why it hurts, because Juan Soto chose the New York Mets over the New York Yankees. The Yankees gave him 16 for 760. And if you really like the Yankees, you really wanted to be a Yankee, you were really confident in the Yankees' ability to win a World Series more than you were the New York Mets, you would have chose the New York Yankees 100 million% without a doubt. If you really want to be in a contender on a World Series, win a World Series, you would have chosen the New York Yankees. He chose the New York Mets, which tells me he likes their future a little bit better. He likes what they're operating a little bit better. And I don't blame him, because the Mets right now don't have as many holes as the New York Yankees do. They don't need two outfielders. They don't need a first baseman. They don't need a third baseman. They don't need pitchers like galore. Well, they do, but they also don't need all those other things as well as that. They don't need more bullpen pieces as well as need all the other things. So, yes, they have a little less holes. They have younger guys that are more ready and here to play, like Luis Angel Acuna. They have, who's probably going to play second base. They have Mark Vientos, who's going to play third base. And man, are the Mets happy they didn't sign Carlos Correa to that big-time deal. Because imagine if they signed Carlos Correa to that big-time deal. I don't think they would have been able to get this deal done. And blessing in disguise for them on that one. I think I could have told them that would have been a bad deal if they got Carlos Correa to that monster lucrative deal. But ultimately, the Mets landed him. And I'm happy for Mets fans, because this is a long time coming, and it's very sad to be a Mets, Jets, Nets fans. And I'm just saying this right now. This fan base has had this hype before. They had it when they had Harden, Durant, Kyrie. They had the big three over there. It didn't turn out as well as everyone thought it would, and I think that was hype level just as hype. And then they got Aaron Rodgers, and they had very much a hype level there that they were going to be Super Bowl contenders, and we all know what happened there. And now they have Juan Soto. And this team again, this fan base again is very hyped that they are going to be World Series contenders, and we will have to see what happens, but I've seen this train before. And that's why it's weird, because for all my life as a baseball fan, the Mets were supposed to be the little brother to the Yankees. We don't lose guys like this to the New York Mets. We don't lose guys like this in general. And we lost it to the Mets for the first time ever. Steve Cohen does what he told everybody he was going to do, and he came off the top rope per tweets and got this deal done. Can't blame him. I think the question now is, what do both teams do next? And I think for the Mets, you go out and you get some kind of starting pitching. If they go out and land Corbin Burns, this is arguably, it's not even a question whether or not this team's the second best team in the Major League Baseball. I think you could already say they're the second best team in baseball. If you add Corbin Burns, I think they have an argument to be the best team in baseball. They're better than the Phillies then at that point. It's not even a question. Now, I think that's a little hard to ask for them to get Burns. What other pitchers will they get? I think there are lower-tier pitchers, like a Nathan Eovaldi, that you can grab that would just help. Right? And I think they need that. And I think they will grab someone like that. And I think that is what is next for the New York Mets. And I think they feel very good and very confident about what they are doing. coming up here. What's next for the Yankees? I think you have to like. I don't want the Yankees to feel like they need to go out and do something and pay too much money to a Santander, to an Alex Bregman. Like, you give them too many years and you give them too much money, and you're tied now to these old men, these on long contracts, and they're just at the back end of their career and they're not producing like they were in their prime. I don't want them to do that. And I think what I want them to do is you seal up first base, you grab Christian Walker to a 1 to 3 year deal, maybe 3 for 33, 3 for 34, 2 for 25. Something like that. You grow out and you just grab him and you lock down first base defensively. If anything happens, he's at least an elite defensive first baseman. Okay, and that's already, like, getting Christian Walker already makes this team way better than what they are right now at this very moment. What else do you do? I think you just stack pitching. I don't think you sign a Santander, you don't sign a Bregman. I think you stack pitching. You go out and you sign a Max Fried. I think Max Fried, for whatever dollar amount you get Max Fried for, I think you're underpaying. Okay, if it's 7 years, 185, I would love that deal. I'm very okay with that deal. I would try and get him for 10 years if I were the Yankees. But whatever they get him for is fine. And you can maybe, if they get Corbin Burnes, I think that would be the hype dream of a Yankees fan. I don't know if that's going to happen as well. Maybe they trade for a Garrett Crochet. I think they're trying to do that. I think they will get a trade done at this offseason. If they get Max Fried, I think we will see a Cortez, Luis Gil deal. I think it could be something with the Cubs. I think Bellinger, maybe Ian Happ, something like that. Or Adolis Garcia, I've heard that name a couple of times. Like, those are guys they can go out and get and make this team better than what they currently are right now at this moment. I also think they go out and get bullpen pieces. I think a Carlos Estevez and Tanner Scott, I think one of the two will be a New York Yankee. I lean right now, Carlos Estevez will be a New York Yankee. He will be the closer or setup man for the New York Yankees next year. I think that is very, very likely. And ultimately, I think that is what you do as the New York Yankees. Maybe you trade for a Bohm. I don't know, right? If you trade for a Bohm and they will go out and get Bregman, the Phillies, I think that could potentially make sense. That makes you better, right? So we'll see. I don't expect them to be done. They obviously have money to spend. They gave $16,760 to Soto. That didn't go through. So they obviously have money to give out this offseason. I think you get the first baseman deal done first. You get Walker. Maybe you get Estevez next. And then I think you start looking around to make a Corbin Burnes deal potentially. Or get some trade guys. Like a Bellinger, I think, is almost a done deal by now. And I think maybe an Adolis Garcia type player like that you go out and get as well. Ultimately, my name's Joshua C. If you like sports, I promise this is the channel for you. So hit that subscribe button. It's a little circle somewhere on the screen. Watch these videos that YouTube recommends. My name's Joshua C. Thank you.